Welcome to A Moment with Charles and Richards. I'm your host, Kyle Doherty, and in this series we talk about all things gentlemanly. And in this episode, we're going to go over one of my favorite cocktails of Boulevardier, brother of the famous Negroni, and then we're going to discuss how to have a proper fitting jacket. Without further ado, let's jump into that cocktail. 3 basic ingredients in this are great bourbon. I prefer straight edge, which is bourbon aged in ex-Cabernet Sauvignon cask, the Campari for the great bitter, and then obviously the sweet vermouth to top it off. So the base on this is the bourbon, and I do 2 ounces instead of 1.5. Gives it just that extra little bit. And then 1 ounce of the Campari, 1 ounce of the sweet vermouth. And then we just stir it all up. Stir it, not shake it. For a dash of garnish, we use that orange peel. Normally, if we were entertaining, we'd use a martini glass. This is a great aperitif. But for purposes of my bar, we're going to use my whiskey glass here. Dash that garnish of orange. That is good. Now jump onto the topic for today, fit. What makes a guy look like a badass and a guy look like a schlub? Well, really it comes down to fit. Does your jacket fit appropriately? Does it drape over your shoulder? Does it look too tight? Does it look too baggy? Well, we're gonna go through that real quick here. So with this mannequin, it's got one of my personal cashmere wool jackets for fall winter. Obviously, classic green. To start with, I usually look at the chest of a jacket. With our made-to-measure and bespoke services with Charles and Richards, we really focus on having a garment that drapes extremely well and doesn't deter the eye from, well, the guy looking like a badass. Things that do that is when the chest is too tight, you get this crazy chest buckling. You see that on a lot of athletes, a lot of our Chiefs players, unfortunately, as they're getting on and off the plane, you see that, along with the restrictions in the arms. We do quite a few things to achieve a better fit there. We do give in our pattern that we've developed, we do have a little bit bigger chest piece, and we do dart our lapels. That keeps that a little bit cleaner, again with a bigger chest piece specific for the guy, and that lapel darted, it gives a clean look there. Next, the jacket should contour the body. It should actually give you an hourglass silhouette of sorts. This particular jacket, as it contours the mannequin, does just that. The jacket unbuttoned, you should be achieving a very similar look, again having that hourglass shape as well. Nothing too tight. When you start to get jackets that are too tight, the jacket pulls from the middle and you get, again, the chest buckling along with wrinkles from that button. We want to prevent that. Again, most good tailors, if you need a jacket altered, they will take the jacket in and make sure they don't take it in too much, but the appropriate amount. You should have a little bit of room there. Again, you don't want it too tight. The next thing is really the shoulder. I mean, we go from chest to the midsection, up to the shoulder and down the arm. Shoulder should drape right at the shoulder where it drops off into the arm. You don't want it too short, because then you're gonna get awkward bulges through the edge. And if it's too long, you're gonna get this awkward dimpling. Again, that jacket should drape right at the shoulder. This particular shoulder is a natural shoulder, so it doesn't have anything too crazy in it, whereas this has a slight roll to it. And that's achieved through actually the shoulder piece that we put on the head of the shoulder. Here it doesn't have one. It's actually very soft, almost like a shirt. That will also, that will make the jacket look so much better if you have the appropriate shoulder width. It doesn't make the guy look like he's swimming in the jacket. Again, we want the jacket to fit, especially being over here in flyover country. We want you to be comfortable the entire 16 hours you're wearing a suit if you do have to fly to and from New York or LA in a day. Next, we're going to cover the length of the sleeve. I mean, this is something, well, the sleeve and sleeve pitch. Length of the sleeve, in general, you want the jacket to come down pretty much to the break of the wrist. Again, this is a personal preference thing. I like to show just a little bit of cuff. Some guys like to show a lot, others don't like to show any. This particular jacket, we do show ever so slight amount of cuff. But again, going back to that pitch, guys have different shapes of arms. They hold them forward, they hold them back. The sleeve head needs to be rotated in accordance to such. Especially if a guy's also got his shoulders forward. You know, we achieve that by altering the pattern of the particular gentleman to, and if he's also got a round back, to get him to where all those extra wrinkles go away, and we have this great fit that contours his body. I mean, that's obviously what we want to achieve with the custom and bespoke processes. So this particular jacket, you can see the sleeve pitch is my arms do sit slightly forward, and so thus the sleeve, as you can see with matching patterns, the sleeve does contour just a little bit forward, giving that natural position. It eliminates the wrinkling back here and the wrinkling up front. Again, not having it too tight, but also not having it too baggy. The sleeve should be nice and filled, but not restricting at all. The length of the jacket is kind of the last thing I want to discuss here. There's many rules of thumb literally on this one. I tend to like it between the two knuckles on the thumb. Just cut it right in between. Traditionally, sport coats, dinner jackets, suits, they were all just a little bit different. Depending on the gentleman, of course, if he's got really long arms, this doesn't really apply too well for that. But for the average gent, we cut the sleeve, or we cut the length, length of the jacket down to the middle of the thumb, and it achieves a great silhouette for him. So, in essence, that is the fit of a jacket. In the next episodes, we're going to cover many more topics. Again, I would love your input on how to make this better, and any future topics you'd like to discuss. Please like it below. We definitely want subscribers, followers, to build this into something that we have a community of people talking about how to look and feel great, especially in this time of crazy corona. So that's it.